Good.
So obviously, you guys have a new starting quarterback going into this weekend's game. Just what's kind of stood out to you behind the scenes around Tyler since the moment that he was told that he didn't die?
I don't think anything's really changed for him, and I think that's, a reflection of the work that he's put into this point in time, and he's never changed from day one in his preparation and his process, the things that he does each and every day and week to get prepared.
Are there any extra little things that you all try to do with him, just knowing that this is the first start?
Well, sure. I mean, anytime, you make a change at quarterback and you're playing with a different quarterback, you want to, do the things that quarterback does well. I mean, you look at certain coverages and there's different beaters for the same coverage, and you go, well, this guy likes to throw this better than that. So, hey, we'll throw this because he likes that coverage beater better than the other one.
We saw him obviously kind of aggressively letting him fly downfield, game situation-wise, but do you think that that's a part of Tyler's nature to look for those throws regardless of game situation?
I think that, like we said, and we say every week, is we're going to try and aggressively take what the defense gives us. So when we get opportunities, we want to take those shots. And you don't know when those opportunities are going to come. And, he had a couple opportunities in the game, and he took. I mean, obviously, we just missed the one out in front of Shough, had a chance. But, I think that he was prepared, and he went in and executed.
How would you like to see Tyler develop over the course of the season? Like what kind of checkpoints or homework do you look for?
Well, I think that's probably too big of a question to answer in one specific area. I think you want to see growth in every area. He's a young player that has a lot of growth ahead of him. Obviously, the learning curve's steep. He's still a rookie, and really got into his first game last week. So we know that there will be challenges. And, what you're trying to do is prepare him for those challenges, keep things. He's a really, really smart guy, and he sees the field really well, and he has a really good understanding of where he wants to go. We just got to make sure there's a process about getting there.
How do you know when a backup is truly ready? Can you glean that just from, how he runs the scout team?
I think that you get some hints through how they run the scout team, but I don't know that you ever know. You don't really know until a player plays in games. And at that position, you see it all over the league. Sometimes guys go right away and it goes well for them right away. Some guys, it takes a little longer. So there's no set recipe to say, okay, if we do this to this point, then we know that player will be ready to be successful.
Is there any one thing that, I'm sure it's a lot of things, but is there anything that really sold you on him in that draft process and why you really wanted to bring him in here? And have you seen any of that manifested since he's been here?
I think it's the whole body of work. And you look at, not he's a really talented football player, but you look at the experiences that he's had throughout his career. It hasn't always been great success. He's had to deal with adversity, and that's a big part of playing in this league. You got to handle, the good times and the bad times, and stay in the middle, and stay neutral.
We've heard that a couple times, like the adversity is actually kind of a selling point for him. Like, is that just like you were just getting a chance to see like how somebody reacts to those adversity, or why is that?
Well, he had, when you look at his career. He had adversity that he played through, battled through, and then obviously had a productive senior year and did some really good things there at Louisville. And then when you get to meet him and you see what he's made of and his process and his intelligence level, and you see the size, the arm talent, the release, all that kind of stuff, and you put the whole package together, you go, you know what? Sometimes you see players, they hit rough patches and they can't quite get themselves out of it. Well, this guy's battled through it. He knows what it's like to, both have success and experience some failures along the way.
Along those same lines, what did you see from him when Spencer was named the starter that showed he had the right approach to being ready when those opportunities did find him?
Consistency. I think maturity and consistency, and I think that's a big part. He's obviously got the talent to play in this league, or he wouldn't be here. So, being able to be consistent in that day-to-day approach that I talked about, his mindset, his mentality. He's been the same guy since the day he got here that he is today. And it didn't change whether he was the guy that was getting the reps with the one that day or the guy that was getting the reps with the threes, when we were competing. So.
Are there some moments that that stick for you in terms of your conversations with him or meetings with him, visits, stuff like that during the pre-draft process?
When he came here for our visit in the building, got to sit down for quite a good bit of time, and just really impressed him with his overall knowledge of football. You could tell he was a football junkie. You could tell he had a high football IQ. Understood things at a high level, and obviously that's a credit to Coach Baum and his staff at Louisville and what they had done with him. And he continues to learn and grow every day.
In moments like that, do you try to throw him wrinkles in a moment like that to see if you can maybe cause a misstep for him or figure out maybe where those?
So now you want us to tell you our evaluation process, no, you want us to get, no. I think that, you're always trying to figure out what does a player know. Because one of the things in the draft process, that you look at is, okay, where are they at? Where do you think they can go? Because not everybody's a finished product, and some guys are more finished than others, and a lot of it has to do with maybe system that they played in or places that they played or things that they've done. So just trying to gather as much knowledge as you can about the player and the person.
Just with Spencer, what would you like to kind of see him go, do now? And
Exactly what he's done. And credit to Spencer. He's been the same guy ever since we made, a decision to put Tyler in the game, in the middle of the game last week, as he was when we started in May. Like, same thing with Tyler, you know what I'm saying? He's been great and done a phenomenal job this week preparing himself to play.
Does getting Tyler in last week, at all, calm this week down, just to not, you went out there, you felt it, get some jitters going, maybe, is any of that true at all?
Well, I think anytime you get experience in games, it helps. Obviously, this will be his first start, which will be different than entering a game, in the middle of the game. So, but I think anytime you get an opportunity to play and you can draw on those experiences, it's limited. And every time he goes out there, he'll get more and more knowledge he can draw from.
Doug, obviously the Rams have really good pass rushers, but how does the scheme that they're working on with Chris Shough kind of help create opportunities for them?
Yeah, they do a really good job. Obviously, having worked with Giff, he does a great job with those front guys, and they've got some really talented players up front. They're very aggressive, and they turn those guys loose, and that's part of their scheme. They keep a lid on it. The safeties play from depth, and they drop from the sky, and therefore they can turn those front guys loose. The linebackers run really well, so it's a really, really good defense.
How big of an asset for a rookie quarterback, a young quarterback, is having a running back with Alvin's receiving capability? Do you anticipate that maybe being a bigger focus with Tyler?
I think any player that gets the opportunity to play with Alvin becomes a better player. He's such a great player himself. He obviously does a great job of elevating the talent of the others around him. But, yeah, it's nice, to have somebody back there in your first start that's got a ton of starts that can help you out a little bit. And, Alvin, little intricacy things that he can help Tyler with will definitely help.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.